Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Northern Ag TV. Well, unfortunately, the feeder cattle futures doubled down on their losses this past week as traders pushed the complex lower by more than $12. A large chunk of that came from the limit loss on Tuesday when traders realized that packers may be starting to position themselves to be in the driver's seat of that cash cattle market as feedlots are feeling inventory starting to grow and cattle weights are increasing. Now, this is unfortunately, as mentioned, the second week of the significant losses and represents a stop to a nearly 4-month rally that traders were riding on. Looking ahead, traders' eyes will be hyper-fixated on the latest cattle on feed report that's set to be published after the markets close on Friday. As mentioned, it could resemble packers' positioning of the buying and the specific amount of cattle needed to fill their orders that has ultimately left fat cattle to only getting fatter. In addition to that pressure, box beef values have fallen significantly over the last 2 weeks, with prices holding on to the $400 per hundredweight price. Moving away from the cash cattle and the futures, we step over to take a look at some of the local auctions. This past week, though, it was not about the cattle leading the charge. No, it was actually the sheep markets getting their annual 15 minutes of fame as the Wyoming and Montana ram sales took place this last week. As a matter of fact, it was the 100th anniversary of the Montana ram sale in Miles City, with prices seeing good optimism for producers that was helped out by a record-setting Wyoming ram sale on Tuesday. Wyoming Wool Growers Association Executive Director Allison Crane told me the prices surpassed everyone's expectations, and it was largely due to the consigners bringing in really quality rams to the sale. For Montana Centennial Ram, well, the prices didn't seem to have the reflection such of strong increases, that is, despite good grass being found in much of eastern Montana. However, prices were still stronger in a 2-year comparison. In addition to the annual Montana Ram and Wyoming Ram sales, Pays held a big sheep and goat special on Monday that saw demand improve throughout the sale, and unfortunately, though, it did start to wane at the end of the sale as buyers filled their orders. Some ethnic buyers also had started their purchasing of the Rosh Hashanah, which comes on September 22nd through the 24th this year. Shifting away from the sheep sales to the cattle auctions, we're seeing a farewell tour of the video auctions right now as Northern Livestock's fall premiere will offer 12,000 head today, and last week it was Cattle Country Video Auction having their same head count in their Frontier Fall Roundup. Light 5-weight steers saw good increases compared to their August sale, while heifers had a lighter test with both classifications seeing the higher head counts this year simply because many cattle were marketed earlier, and we continue to see that 7-decade low in the total number of cattle. As we step away from the livestock and focus on the grain sector, Friday revealed some surprises to the corn traders as the latest USDA World Ag Supply and Demand Estimates report saw the corn acres from earlier this year being up 1.5 million acres, or nearly that anyways. This also boosted production by 72 million bushels, that is, but somehow did not crash the market. Now, Friday's WASDE was quiet on the U.S. wheat side, but no changes of the production ahead of the small grain summary that's set to be released at the end of the month. The USDA did, however, increase the wheat exports by 25 million bushels, which in turn dropped the wheat stocks to 840 million bushels, marking a lower estimate than last year, but the second highest in the past 5 years. If there was a bearish aspect to the report on Friday for the wheat, well, it was the world balance sheet where particularly every single wheat producing country had their production revised higher by the USDA. All total, though, it amounted to an increase of 9.3 million metric tons in that wheat production forecasted compared to the August WASDE report. Well, of course, you can always find these prices and much more on our website, northernag.net. From Northern Ag TV, I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.